Well, it wasn't really that much spoken out. I'm from northern Maine, so I didn't know exactly anything about the Vietnam War. My brother-in-law was in the Navy, and I have some other relatives, so I decided to join the Navy. Yeah. And they asked me to pick what I wanted to do. I was in Vietnam. I was with 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, Fox Company. And they were an infantry. And we would do night ambushes. Every third day our squad would go out. We had different squads in the platoon. We'd go out every third day to do night ambushes. We were trying to find out who was they were mining the roads between two landing zones. The most difficult thing was it was being with a group of guys and being full of fear. I didn't know. I wasn't really trained. For being in a combat situation. I adjusted to it after about a month. And so, it's just kind of a different country, being shot at, knowing you had to be careful, looking out for booby traps. It was, we were scared. It was fearful. There was fear involved. I have to admit it, but, the tough thing is maintaining making sure that your feet are dry, stuff like that. It was one night in the night ambush, I'd taken off my boots because my feet were killing me, and I fell asleep, and ants had bitten me, and I couldn't put my boots on, so I had to walk back to base with my stocking feet. So, my feet had swollen. So the fear of different types of animals or whatever. It's just. And we walked right into a U-shaped ambush that day. Three of my guys Marines that I was with were killed, and several wounded, including me. Well, a lot wounded, actually. And so I know when we first had incoming, my squad leader said, "Doc, you stay here, and I'm going to bring the Marines. I'm going to go and get the guys that were hit and bring them to me." And he got mortar rounds, so he got hurt. And so I knew he wasn't coming back, so I just figured I took off in a running crawl, and I jumped over the radio operator, Hines. And I got there, and while I was in the air, just before I landed on the ground, I got hit by an AK round. So I had to treat myself. I said, what? It was getting really chaotic, bullets flying. I went over to Hines, and he didn't make it. I tried, keeping him alive, but he didn't make it. He got shot pretty bad up. And I grabbed the radio, and I talked into the radio saying, this is Doc 27, I didn't go to Medical Battalion. I went to 95th Evac Army Hospital. They top rated on me, took the bullet out, and then I got sent to Yokosuka Naval Hospital in Japan. And I spent about a month in surgical. And then I got out to another part of the wards, the hospital, and I got orders back for Vietnam. I faced my death. I saw death. I saw Hines, he was dead, and I figured that was it for me. But the next thing I know, I could move. I took my M16, I fired 3 rounds, and then after that, it wouldn't work. I just threw it on the ground. I had my .45, kept that next to me, and just waited until someone came and got me. Well, I never would have thought that the training I got and the experience I had in Vietnam and on board ship would have prepared me for being able to help out other veterans, to being able to raise a family. I mean, I went through post-traumatic stress. I dealt with my PTSD through other means, and I was in trouble. And someone had mentioned a program in Massachusetts, a post-traumatic stress program, and I went down there, and I've been going to therapy ever since. It's helped me realize that, my experience in Vietnam, my experience in training with the military prepared me to once I was debriefed about what combat is all about, what it does to you, which I didn't know what was happening to me. And my son was he's a Marine, but he's out of the service now, but he hit an IED in Afghanistan and he got paralyzed and lost a leg. So he's a combat Purple Heart recipient. And with my training, I was able to understand what was going on with him, and to, with my going to the VA and having to go through all the different processes of, how to get help and that, I was able to help him out.